Witchcraft at the workplace, story time. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, I realize that when you're not a person that is into witchcraft, or if you're not a person that believes in it, these things happen, and then you think that maybe, it's just not my day, or maybe it's just bad luck, or you're just going through it. But in reality, you might find that there is a person, or there are people that are actually sending like hexes to you. That is just crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have a lot of stories like of witchcraft for days. So I remember this other time I was marketing cars online for people, right? So I did it for such a very long time, like a short period of time, actually, maybe like a month. I was into it. And then I received like a job offer from like a company that sells cars, right? And then I remember this person actually like literally headhunted me. And then he told me that there was a job opportunity at so and so company, and I should actually send my CV, and then he will schedule an interview for me, and then I would go do the interview, and then from there, I would actually get the job, right? Because he saw that I was actually good at marketing his cars, and I was doing a very great job, right? And then I remember he sent me his email, right? And then the time when he sent me the email, I sent my application like the same day, but it didn't go through. I didn't actually realize that it didn't go through up until this person actually phoned me a few days later, like 2 days later, and then asked me, this is what you spoke about, and you still haven't sent your application. I was like, what do you mean I haven't sent my application? It was like, no, I haven't received it. I'm like, no, I sent it the same day we actually spoke. He was like, no, I didn't receive it, but it's okay. Please send me like the PDF on WhatsApp. And then I did that. And then I went back on my emails to actually check. And then I realized that I did send the email, but like it bounced, like it didn't actually go through for some reason, right? And then I sent him my CV, and then he goes through it, and then we schedule like an appointment or an interview rather for me to go and interview for the job, right? And then I remember it was on a Monday. Like I had literally prepared everything, everything for me to go to that interview. But when the day came, I don't know what happened. I literally, for some reason, I don't know if I forgot. For some reason, I don't know if I forgot or I slept, or but the day came, the interview was on Monday, and in my head I'm thinking that the interview is on Tuesday. So Monday came and I couldn't go to the interview, and then I ended up just going for the interview on Tuesday, right? So Monday comes, it's interview time, like 30 minutes. Like I was supposed to go there at like 10 o'clock, and then like half 10 he calls me, and then he's like, you're supposed to be here. Where are you? We have your interview like today. Where are you? Right. So I was like, no, the interview is tomorrow on a Tuesday. He's like, no, read your application. I was like, yo, I don't understand why I'm so clumsy, why I'm not paying attention, why, these things. First it was the CV, now it's like the day of the interview. And then I just explained to him like, no, please, pardon me, I'm probably just stressed because I'm trying to juggle like a lot of things at once. So it was like, okay, it's fine, you can interview like tomorrow, because like I had planned that I was gonna interview the both of you guys today, but you couldn't pull through, so you can come tomorrow. I was like, okay, it's fine. So the following day comes and I go for the interview, right? And I meet the person that I was supposed to be interviewed with. Obviously, we're like new, so we're being sort of like introduced to the company before we actually join the other people in the sales team, right? And then we're in this the boss's office, the two of us, for like a week. We're training because they need to teach us how to answer calls, the scripts, and all the necessary things, right? And then I realized, okay, we do that. And then this guy, I realized that this person, he seems like such a cool guy, and I'm a cool person. And then we click, we get along for like a couple. There's something off with this guy. Like when a person doesn't like you, you can actually feel that, no, this person, doesn't vibe with me like that. But I was like, anyways, we're at work. It's not like he's my friend or anything like that. We're just at work, and I don't necessarily have to pay attention to that. But like, um, during the time when like the week we're in the boss's office, like training and stuff, I realized that this guy is not actually interested in learning about the business, is not interested in actually learning about a lot of things. He just wants to go straight into the other team with the rest of the people for some reason. I don't know why. He's just so frustrated. He's just so like, unsettled. He's rushing to actually get it over and done with so that he can actually go join like the other team, right? And then he finally manages to speak to the boss and tells him that he doesn't understand why we are here when people that side are working. They actually doing the job, and then we're still practicing. Why we're practicing? I'm like, dude, we're practicing because we don't know the job, so we need to understand what we are doing. But anyways, I guess we're just gonna do it your way, because like I didn't want to start like quarrels or anything like that, you see. So I just let it be. And then we go inside the pool with the rest of the sales team, and then we start working. And then a few days, it didn't even take like a week, guys. It didn't even take a week. A few days into that job, I realized that this guy, I start having like weird dreams. You see, I'm always dreaming of, I'm seeing him in my dreams. I'm seeing him in my dreams or at work. He's doing like shady stuff. I'm not really understanding what's happening in the dreams, but I do know that most of the time, when I actually have a dream about someone, it's because there's something that is going on. Like maybe God is trying to bring something to my attention, but like I don't know what it is. So I remember this one other time, I start having problems with like coming to work out of the blue for no good reason, right? And then if it's not me missing the bus, it's me waking up late. If it's not me waking up late, it's me not being able to get like transport to work. Each and every time I'd go through those things, I'd actually think that no, I'm just having a bad day, or no, maybe I didn't plan properly, or things just aren't going okay. Little did I know. So I started praying about that. I was like, God, you know how much I'm struggling. You know how much I need this job. You know how much I need to be in this place. Please, like, help me. Every day I need to get to work because I need this money. I need to take care of myself, right? So those things actually happened a couple of times, and obviously I'd end up just getting to work, because if maybe I was having problems, by luck I'd get maybe my neighbor helping me to go to work and stuff, right? And then this one time I dream, right? I'm sleeping in bed, and then this guy comes inside my room, and then he's like, hey, wake up. He's like, how did you sleep? And then I wake up, right? Literally, guys, like I kid you not, the morning I go to work, and like he doesn't speak to me ever in the morning. He doesn't say nothing to me ever in the morning. He just pulls through, and then he's like, hi, how did you sleep? And then in my head, I'm like, why is this guy asking me how did I sleep? And then I noticed that um since that day, like since that time I actually dreamt that, or even before, I noticed that, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd literally sleep early, maybe like 8 o'clock, to make sure that I wake up in the morning early, and then I'm not tired, you see. Every day I wake up in the morning, I'm tired for some reason. I cannot wake up, the alarm rings, I can't hear it. That's another reason that actually kept me from actually getting to work on time. And then he finally reveals himself. It's like, how did you sleep? I'm like, in my head, I slept okay. And then I can see that in his eyes. Like sometimes a person won't speak to you or show you their true feelings or emotions, but like you can tell from their eyes, you can tell from their energy and how they're actually interacting with you. And then this guy is like, okay, but the way his energy, his vibe, I can see that he's literally like annoyed at that time. I don't understand witchcraft things. Obviously, if you don't understand witchcraft things, you'll see things in your dreams and you won't take them seriously. You'll have people come to you and reveal themselves to you, and you won't actually understand. You will be able to sense a person's energy, and you won't actually understand what is going on, right? So fast forward 2 weeks, things were happening so fast, such that in 2 weeks' time, I had been through a lot, a lot. I don't even understand how, because there's literally 14 days in 2 weeks, but I felt like the way I was so drawn out, the way I was so tired, the way I was so, everything happened in 2 weeks. It felt like I had been in that place for literally 12 months. 12 months. That's how hard that person was actually throwing hexes at me, right? And then I realized that now, out of the blue, like it's the workplace. We're doing like workplace code, like everyone gets along with everyone, everyone's nice to everyone, we try to do work and stuff. There's no like personal agendas with anyone. So I noticed that now, out of the blue, like people are just having a problem with me working, but I don't understand how are they having a problem with me working, because I've never had any problem with anyone. I've never quarreled with anyone. I'm not fighting with anyone. Literally, I'm just new here. And this is the first time this has happened, like in 2 weeks. Why is it happening? Right? And then I brushed that off. I realized that it's like now everyone is ganging up on me. They're looking at small things that I'm doing. They're watching my work. They're watching at little mistakes that I'm doing out of the blue. And I'm the only person. And mind you, there was even another person inside that same place that was actually fairly new, and they couldn't even do the job. But like I was the one that was being paid attention to for some reason. So I try to pull up my socks. Now I try to put in like more work. I work, and I worked so hard. I actually managed to actually get a client for one of the most expensive cars at that dealership. And can I tell you what happened? The devil always reveals himself one way or the other. So I managed that whole 2 weeks that was happening. I was just focusing on my work and not actually paying attention to all of those things. Although I could see that no, there's something fishy that's going on here, but I can't actually put my hand on it. But there's something that is not okay. There's something that is not right here. Anyways, I managed to get the client. The clients actually we're talking. We had the system where we'd actually get, and then you speak to them, and then you sort of like induce them and draw them in and show them the cost that they can buy, and then that's literally how you make the sale. So I managed to actually get like one person, for a car that was the most expensive in that dealership, right? Can I tell you what happened? So I'm talking to this person. I'm talking to him like a whole week that time, and finally he agrees to come on like a Saturday. And mind you, he's coming to make like a down payment for that car. Hey, I come on Saturday, and then I learn that someone actually hacked into my system, my username, took the numbers of that client, went behind my back and actually snatched that client. Guess who did that? The guy that was giving me problems from day one. And then I asked myself, how did this happen? I asked the boss, how did this happen? How is this guy actually getting my client? They said a whole bunch of things that never made sense. I was so mad. I was so angry because for like 2 weeks, I had to endure people actually micro analyzing my actions and my work and making like I'm not doing anything purely because they wanted me out of that workplace for some reason you know and at that time, in my head I'm thinking I'm not doing anything wrong to anyone. I haven't offended anyone. I haven't done anything bad to anyone. So what is the reason that a person would literally not want me to work here? Because I don't have my friends here. I don't have my family members here. I don't have my enemies here or anyone that I would actually think that they wouldn't want me here. You understand? Uh Little did I know, you literally do not have to do anything to anyone for them to hate you. The fact that you have the capability of actually doing something that they can't, it becomes a problem for you. It becomes a problem for them. They look at you, they analyze your life, they look at you, they're like, you're female, you can actually get married or get a boyfriend. You don't need to have money, you don't need to have this job, and you don't need to have those capabilities. I deserve them, you don't, so you need to go out. And they use witchcraft to actually do that to you. So they play God with your life. You understand? So fast forward now, I got so pissed about that, and then I realized that no, Um, it's not the first time I'm being sabotaged. It's not the first time they actually like doing this to me, because I suppose this person was also friends with the person that would actually give us the leads, and this person would always give me like weak leads that were not even making sense to sabotage my work. You understand? And then by God's grace, I was able to get that deal. And in me getting that deal, I don't know, there's people that can actually see things spiritually, guys. There's people that can see things spiritually before they actually manifest in your life. And then they try to do things to actually sabotage that. If they can't do it spiritually, they will try to do it like in person, live, which in my case, this is what that guy did to me, right? And then, after I found out that they actually stole my client, I was just like, you know what? Nah, I cannot work like so hard. And on top of that, have to face so much negativity from people. And then at the end of the day, they steal my clients. So I just left the job just like that, heartbroken. And then now when I'm actually thinking back, I realized that, I'm gonna leave that job. I wasn't going to leave that job, because literally that person showed themselves to me numerous number of times that there is something that I'm doing to you and I do not want you here, and I'm the one who's doing it. But I could not pick that up because I didn't understand how witchcraft works. I didn't understand that people can literally do witchcraft on you for no good reason. I didn't understand people can actually literally like look at you and think that you don't deserve this, you don't want you to have this. you know it scared me a lot, and then I just moved on with my life. When i'm actually thinking about it now when i'm actually thinking about it now I realize that, guys, people out there survive by doing witchcraft, by doing dark magic, by throwing hexes at people. Like, always pay attention to your life, always pay attention to your things, always pray for your blessings, always pray for your destiny, always pray for your light, because you don't know who's watching you and just waiting for you to work, 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 work. And then when it's time for you to actually reap the benefits of your labor, they pull through, snatch that, and take your position. Just like that. Just like that. And then when I'm actually thinking about it now, I'm asking myself, how long was this person actually watching me? Because you might when because I learned during like my working period there, I learned that this person actually knew like the boss from like outside so their social environments, you understand? But like maybe he knew that he saw maybe in spirit that he wanted to hire someone when he was going to hire someone, and then he actually tried to actually overrule that or actually take that for himself. But somehow spiritually, maybe God was able to actually fight for me, and then that's how I ended up in that workplace in the first place, you see. And then in me getting into that place, he had to fight me each and every day, literally, to make sure that I get out of that job. He actually tried by all means to make sure that it looks like I'm the one who's the problem, or I'm the one who's not working, you see. All of that using hexes, using dark magic, using spiritual things. That is how bad life is here in Africa. And then I stopped working there, and then I went back to like my own hustles, pushing my own hustles by the side, right? And then I met this one guy. Remember the one I told you about that wasn't actually doing like much work, but he was just there, you know. And then I met him like I was at the mall, right? And then I just spotted him from a crowd, and then he called me. I went to him, and then he just gave me an update and told me that no, this guy, he's actually so wicked, because now there was obviously like a team leader there. This guy literally wanted to be the team leader. So now to actually destroy this guy now, he did the same thing he did to me, but to this guy now, he literally went behind his back and actually slept with his pregnant wife. That is how wicked that guy is. That is how far people can actually go to actually achieve things or get things in this life, things that are not even there spiritually, even to steal. That is how bad it got. That is how bad it is. So I'm just saying these things to give awareness, guys. Like, Do not live in this life and think that you're in your own world or you're in your own bubble or nothing can ever happen to you. Witchcraft works, and witchcraft will not work if you are not lukewarm, more especially if you're a Christian, or lukewarm in whatever you believe in. Stay firm and believe in your belief.